The cameras flashed, the room buzzed with reporters, and the air itself seemed to tremble with tension. Chris Christie stood at the podium, his hand gripping the edge as though anchoring himself against the storm he was about to walk into. For years, his name had been both praised and cursed, his past both weapon and shield. But now, on that evening, as the lights bore down on him and the world leaned in to hear what he had to say, there was no turning back. "I'm running for President of the United States." The words came out steady, deliberate, as if each syllable carried the weight of every trial, every misstep, every hope he had carried over decades in public life. The room erupted, some with applause, others with skepticism, but Christie didn't flinch. For him, this wasn't just another announcement. It was a declaration of resilience. Chris Christie's journey toward this moment wasn't simple. It had been scarred by controversies, overshadowed by giants in the Republican Party, and marked by deep personal reflection. He had been governor, a political bulldog, a man unafraid of confrontation. Yet, he had also been written off by many, a figure thought to have had his chance, squandered it, and faded into the shadows of political history. But what they didn't see was the fire still burning inside him, the conviction that leadership wasn't about timing or popularity, but about courage. And courage, Christie knew, had a cost. Behind the polished speeches and campaign banners was a man who had fought private battles that the world rarely glimpsed. Nights spent in silence, questioning whether the scars of his political past could ever be healed. Moments with his family, his wife Mary Pat reminding him, "Chris, people may doubt you, but they need someone who doesn't doubt himself." Those words anchored him, not in arrogance, but in faith. As his campaign trail began, Christie faced relentless opposition. Rivals dismissed him as yesterday's news. Pundits mocked his weight, his past alliances, his bluntness. At rallies, hecklers shouted reminders of old wounds. And yet, each time, Christie did not retreat. Instead, he leaned forward, his voice growing sharper, his arguments more urgent. "I am not running to be liked," he told a crowd in New Hampshire. "I'm running because I believe in telling the truth, even when it hurts." There was power in those words. The people who came to hear him speak weren't always lifelong supporters. Many were undecided, some skeptical. But they left with a strange mix of respect and curiosity. They saw in him not perfection, but grit, the kind of grit that America itself was built on. Along the way, he found allies where he least expected them. A young single mother in Iowa who told him she admired his fight because she had been fighting her whole life too. A veteran in South Carolina who shook his hand and said, "Governor, I don't care about your past. I care if you'll fight for us now." Those voices became the quiet,